Do we need a PS6 in the year 2027? Well, to answer this question, we need to first see why we prefer buying gaming consoles in the first place. First of all, consoles are cheaper compared to a gaming PC or laptop. Well, they used to be much cheaper a few years ago, before all these AI companies took everything from us. In a nutshell, the entry barrier to video games used to be much lower with video game consoles. Just look at the launch prices of some previous gen consoles. And now, So ultimately, the first main reason why most of us are not excited about the upcoming brand new PlayStation 6 is the price point. But the price isn't the only reason I'm questioning whether we actually need a PS6. Until the 8th generation, the prices of gaming consoles generally used to depreciate and go down as the generation matured. But now, in the 9th generation of video gaming, the story is heading totally in the opposite direction. Instead of reducing the price, these companies are constantly breaking records by increasing the prices of their products. Whether it's their gaming consoles, their video games, heck, even the prices of their online gaming subscriptions and accessories are going up way too frequently. And let us not talk about all those regular layoffs and all the studio closures. These things are more than sufficient, in my opinion, to make a healthy gamer mad at them and decide not to get himself or herself the next generation of PlayStation or Xbox hardware. And Nintendo. At least they still carry some civic sense to let us know 4 months before they increase their prices too. And we all know why all this is happening. And on the other side, I still get hurt when I check the current massacre situation going on in the PC market. These companies are not your friends. I am telling you. And the main thing is, the physical games. Back in my day, it was way much simpler. Just plug in your gaming console to your CRT TV, insert your game disc that you own, and start playing. No internet, no mandatory updates, no massive downloads, nothing. It was just you and your game, connected to your gaming console and CRT TV, no one else. And now, you need to download those 100 gigabytes of files to preload the newer deluxe edition of the AAA title that you pre-ordered last month digitally. And since Sony is ending physical game disc production for new PlayStation games starting in January 2028, why would you get a gaming console now at this point? Their storefront is not safe, as digital content can be removed or become inaccessible under certain circumstances. And if something like that happens again in the future, you may not necessarily have the same kind of access to the content you previously purchased. And guess what? Sony's terms and conditions already explain that digital content and licenses are subject to certain limitations and conditions, which almost no one reads, of course. So, companies like Sony could still lose anyway like this in the future. Now you might be wondering, bro, we can play GTA 6 at 4K 120 FPS on the PS6, bro. No, brother. If you want to play GTA 6 at a higher resolution and higher FPS, then, brother, it would be better to buy a PC, or maybe a pre-built system, like the Ultimate GameCube. Because when GTA 6 eventually comes to PC, you will be able to play it with various types of mods that no $1,000 gaming console can do. Also, here's the most important part. On PC, you don't need to pay anything to play most games online. Okay? No PS Plus, no Xbox Game Pass just to play online, nothing. Okay, listen to this. On PC, you can use almost any game controller. You can either use a budget-friendly game controller or the most expensive one. You have much more freedom of choice than you do on a console. And if you see this, there's still this stick drift issue that exists on the current gen first-party controllers, even on the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. Why? Because they want you to keep on buying their latest flavors of controllers. That's it. But on PC, you could spend the same amount of money that a DualSense or an Xbox controller costs you, sometimes even less than that, on a proper controller that has Hall-effect joysticks and Hall-effect triggers. These controllers can greatly reduce the risk of traditional stick drift issues and can potentially last much longer without that particular type of wear. Isn't that nice? And also, I want to mention Steam and GOG, because here, on both these platforms, Your video game libraries are much more flexible than they are on traditional consoles. And most importantly, you actually have much more control over your games on PC. Yeah, just listen. On Steam, you basically own a game license, not a copy of the game in the traditional physical sense. Well, okay, but Steam gives PC gamers much more flexibility. You can back up your games, use offline mode for supported games, install mods, upgrade your hardware, and even switch operating systems without having to buy your games again. And while Steam is still a licensed digital storefront and not traditional ownership, I personally think it gives gamers a much better ecosystem for preserving and accessing their games. But on the other side, PlayStation's terms also give Sony the ability to terminate accounts under certain circumstances, which could potentially affect access to purchased digital content. So PlayStation is obviously becoming not so gamer or consumer friendly these days. But yeah, now you might understand why Steam is much better. But on GOG, apart from having your game licenses, you also get a DRM-free, offline installable version of many of your games there, where you don't need to download their GOG storefront, no signing in constantly to their services, and you don't even need to install their GOG Galaxy 2.0 launcher. Yeah, just go to their official site, buy the game, download the offline installer of the game that you just bought, and boom! You can install the DRM-free version on your PCs and systems without constantly requiring you to log into the GOG servers. Now that's what I would call a true digital ownership from a consumer's perspective, and that's something I don't think either Xbox or PlayStation could provide in the same way at this point. Well, speaking about Xbox, I think they have finally started doing something great if their disc-to-digital and vice versa system rumor becomes true. And again, as per the rumors, Xbox is reviving its backward-compatible program again, but this time, this could also be on PC. That means you could potentially play your digital, and even physical, Xbox games on your Xbox console and on your PC too. And meanwhile, you may be eligible to get a free copy of the PC version of selected Ubisoft games that you own on Xbox. For that, do check them out on the Windows Xbox PC app. But don't worry, you can even use any major Linux distro, like SteamOS, Bazzite, or CachyOS, to play your PC games that you own on Steam and GOG, especially if you're not using the Xbox app. So, here's the deal. If PS6 comes out at a $1,000 price tag, as some rumors and reports suggest, then I believe that it would still be much better to build a PC at that price range, because not everyone needs 4K 120 FPS gaming, right? For most of us, a 1080p gaming machine would be more than sufficient. And also, you don't need to buy the same games constantly on PC just because you upgraded your computer. Your existing PC game library generally follows you to your new system. And if you already own a PS5, then brother, the question becomes even simpler. Why rush? Unless the PS6 offers a genuinely massive generational leap, your PS5 can still do the job perfectly fine. But if you still want to go for a PS5, or are planning to get a PS6 in the future, then I would suggest buying a second-hand or used console and trying it first. That would provide you with more value if you know how to deal with second-hand products. Also, we might not be getting disk drives with the PS6 out of the box anyway. That could be a separate $200 purchase if you want to play all your physical collection. And talking about Project Helix from Xbox, well, would that be worth the $1,000 price if it comes with disk drive support and a good, consumer-friendly platform? Well, time will tell. Let me know, guys, about your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching the video. See ya, and have a nice day ahead.